Good morning, everyone. We are the Group 1 and we choose to investigate the problem number 7, which is classifying happy numbers and sad numbers.
Here's the instruction on how to find happy numbers and sad numbers.
Think of a number. Square each of its digits and add the square to get a second number. Square the digits of the second number and add the squares to get a third number.
Continue this way to get a sequence.
The sequence starting with 7 is 7, 49, 97, 130, and so on. If the sequence reaches 1, then the original number is called happy. If not, it is called sad. Investigate.
To explore it systematically, we repeat the process from 1 to 100. We added the square root of the digit of the number that we chosen. We tested every number so that we will know if they are happy numbers or they are sad numbers. Every sequence ended with 1 and number 4, so means and out of 10 examples from 1 to 10, there are only 3 happy numbers and 7 sad numbers. And if we extend to 100 just like what we did, we found out that there is only 20 happy numbers among them and the rest are sad numbers. After exploring it systematically, we made 5 conjectures.
Conjectures A. From numbers 1 to 100. 1, 7, 10, 13, 19, 23, 28, 31, 32, 44, 49, 68, 70, 79, 82, 86, 91, 94, 97, and 100 are happy numbers. The rest is sad numbers. Conjecture B. If happy number reaches 1, then sad number reaches 4. Conjecture C. All the numbers in the sequence of a happy numbers and sad numbers are also happy and sad numbers consecutively. Conjecture D. Adding 0 or zeros to the happy and sad numbers will result to a happy and sad numbers consecutively. Conjecture E. Every sad numbers form a series of number which repeats over and over.
To test our conjectures, here are the methods that we try to do in testing.
Conjecture A states that out of 100 numbers, there's only 20 numbers that are happy, and the rest are sad numbers. By adding the square root of the digits of the numbers, we obtain these results. We tested it one by one, and this is what we got. We had given number 7 here to test. So 7 squared is equal to 49. So each digit of 49, which is the 4 and the 9, were squared, and then we add the result of 4 squared plus 9 squared. So we got 97, and then 97, each digit were squared again. 9 squared plus 7 squared is equal to 130. Again, every digit of 130 were raised to 2, and the answer is 10. And then 1 squared plus 0 squared, we got the answer number 1. And even how many times we're going to square the 1, the result is always 1. And that's the end of a sequence of the number 7. Therefore, 7 is a happy number. Given number 7, here's the data that we had made and the calculation of every happy numbers. We calculated each number and let's make us classified them as happy numbers. So we can see the process and the sequence of each happy numbers consecutively. To test our conjecture B, we separate the happy numbers from the sad numbers, and we have here the conjecture B. If a happy numbers reaches 1, and then the sad numbers reaches 4. So we have here only 20 numbers out of 100 were happy numbers. The rest of them were sad numbers, and they are 80 sad numbers. We can see that all of the sad numbers ended with 4, and if we are going to extend it, if we are going to square it again the 4 and then we get 16, so we can say that it is an unending process. Our conjecture C states that all the numbers in the sequence of a happy numbers and sad numbers are also happy and sad numbers consecutively. It means that all the consecutive results of we squared and we added were at the same group. For example, if the happy numbers, we have here the examples. Number 7, the sequence of number 7 is 7, 49, 97, 130, 10, and 1. So all of them, those numbers in the sequence were all happy numbers. The results of the sequence are exclusively for happy numbers. If happy numbers belongs to the sequence of the happy numbers, then the sad numbers belongs to the sequence of sad numbers. No matter how long or how short is the sequence of the results, the sequence of the result of the sad numbers were in the loop of sad numbers. Shall we say a circle of sad numbers? To test the conjecture D, adding 0 or zeros to the happy and sad numbers will result to a happy and sad numbers consecutively. If we are going to extend the process of squaring and adding the results of the number to find happy numbers and sad numbers, we can add zeros to the numbers. For example, the happy number is 7. If we add 0 to 7, for example here, 7, we added 2 zeros after 7, so we have 700. We get 1 as a result, so 700 is also a happy number. And then if we extend it again, we add another 0 for 7,000. We can see that the result is still a happy number. So even if how many zeros we are going to add to the happy numbers, we can say that the result will be always 1, and that number will always happy numbers. We have here the number 13, so we tried to put the 0 in the middle of the 1 and 3, and as a result, we also get 1 as a result. So even if where we are putting the 0 in the middle or in the beginning or in the end of the number, we can still get this result 1. We tried this process to the sad numbers too, adding 0 to the sad number, and we also conclude that the result will also sad numbers. You can see here 16 is a sad number, and we put 0 in the middle of 1 and 6, so 106. We also got 4, that's the sad number, and we tried the 160 and then 1060, they all got 4. So meaning that even if how many zeros you are going to add to the number, if that was a happy number, it's still a happy number. And then if we add zeros to the sad numbers, the result will be also sad numbers, because if we are going to add 0 squared to the number, it will have no value, so the result will still the same. Now to test the conjecture E, every sad numbers form a series of number which repeats over and over. Just like what I have said lately, that the sad numbers had a loop, and we can say that it's a circle of sad numbers because the process of doing it repeats over and over. Unlike happy numbers, the results or the end of the process or the sequence of the happy numbers were 1, and if you're going to square the 1, you can still have 1, and that's the end of the process. Here in the sad numbers, the end of the process is 4, but we can't say that 4 is the end because we can still square the 4, so we can get 4 squared, and we get 16, and then the process will repeat over and over again. We already proposed our 5 conjectures, and we had tested it all 5 conjectures. And now we are going to justify our conjectures. To justify conjecture A, by testing and observing, the numbers in the sequence of a happy number are all happy numbers. In the table above, 7, which is a happy number, have 49, 97, 130, 10, and 1 as its sequence, and as to classify the numbers on its sequence, their sequence are also ended with 1, which means they are also happy numbers. Justifying the conjecture B, by testing and observing the sequence of numbers 1 to 100 only end up with numbers 1 and 4. It was stated in the given investigation that numbers which end up its sequence with 1 are happy numbers, while the numbers which end up with 4 and its sequence are all sad numbers. Our conjecture C is similar to our conjecture A, so to justify its conjecture, again by testing and observing, the numbers in the sequence of a happy number are all happy numbers. And as we can see the examples above, all the sequence of the happy numbers are all happy numbers too. Same with the sad numbers. All the numbers in the sequence of the sad numbers were all sad numbers. Justifying conjecture D, by testing and observing, adding 0 or zeros to the end or in the middle of the happy numbers will not change the result of the significant number, as well as adding zeros to sad numbers. Therefore, even adding a lot of zeros to the number, the result will still the same because 0 doesn't add value to the number. 0 squared is still 0, hence happy numbers will still happy, and sad numbers will still be sad numbers. Justifying conjecture E. By testing and observing, the sequence of the sad numbers makes a loop when it touches a number in the sequence which already been touched. The numbers in the sequence has the same result as the process continuously occurring until they reach 4. Just like what I have said, 4 can be squared again, and that makes another round of squaring and adding the squared numbers, and that's an unending process for said numbers. So far, we're almost done with our investigation. We've done with exploring systematically, we proposed our 5 conjectures, we done testing, and we justified it all. And finally, we are now going to summarize all of those investigation process we've done for classifying happy numbers and sad numbers. Based on the investigation, by following the process in the given instructions, the sequence with ends with 1 are called happy numbers, while the sequence that does not end with 1 are called sad numbers. By following the steps, we test numbers from 1 to 100, and we conclude that the sequence only ends with 1 and number 4. And we only have 20 numbers ended with 1 and 18 numbers ended with 4. Through exploring systematically, we proposed 5 conjectures, and by testing, we separated the numbers which ends by 1 and numbers which ends by 4. Then the numbers on the sequence of a happy number are happy numbers since its sequence end up with 1, while the numbers on the sequence of a sad number are all sad numbers since its sequence ends up with 4. Through exploring systematically, we proposed 5 conjectures, and by testing, we separated the numbers which ends by 1 and numbers which ends by 4. Then the numbers on the sequence of a happy number are happy numbers since its sequence end up with 1, while the numbers on the sequence of a sad number are all sad numbers since its sequence ends up with 4. Adding zeros to the happy numbers will bring the result a happy number, and putting any zeros to the sad numbers will make a result sad number. No matter how many zeros will be added to the number, the result will be the same to its original number because 0 has no value to change the state of a happy or sad numbers. The sequence of the sad numbers has its result keep on repeating for the consecutive numbers in the sequence. They have the same sequence of results until they reach 4. Hence, with what being said, happy numbers ends its sequence when it reaches 1, but sad numbers keeps on repeating when it reaches the number 4. And that concludes our investigation for classifying numbers by happy numbers and sad numbers. Thank you and have a nice day.